very shortly. Okay, so should I just randomly select?
Hello, I am Ladiwa Hassan.
Okay, Ladi, please go ahead.
We are in prayer in Jesus' name. Father, we want to thank you for this beautiful moment, even as we gather here in order to discuss a way forward and to gain more knowledge. Father, lead us, take control over our life from today till the end we finish, oh Lord. Father, we thank you. Those that are yet to join the group, Father, we pray that you hasten their feet in the mighty name of Jesus. Give us
Amen.
understanding and knowledge. For in Jesus' wonderful name we have prayed. Amen.
Amen. Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
you.
Just like we did yesterday, we're going to do that again today. I'm going to share the attendance on the group or on the message so that as we are interacting, we can then begin to fill the attendance. But in the meantime, who is going to volunteer to share with us what the length? Okay, first, like a recap of what we did yesterday, and then we can then take it up from there. I can see our chairperson in the group. So who will quickly give us like a brief overview? All right, so I've shared the attendance on the chat, so we can proceed with signing up and marking ourselves present today. All right, if you like, please share with us. What did you learn yesterday? We need about 2 or 3 people that will just share with us. All right, Obehi Genius Hub, can you share with us? Priye Otui, you've been here since day one, but we've hardly heard your voice. Would you mind sharing with us? Okay. No one wants to share today. That's strange. We didn't learn anything. Abuye Grace, would you share with us? In fact, let me even look at the group and see the people that said that they learned something and are willing to share. Let's see if they are here. Our session today is starting at 4:15 so that we are able to cover for the lapses yes, that we had yesterday in terms of covering the length of the training. So, all right, Ndefreke, are you here? Okay. Birthday, Sedu, please go ahead. Share with us.
Good one. Hello. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you now.
You may want it. I'm doing so. Good evening, everyone. I would like to share with us what I learned yesterday. Yesterday, we were looking at steps of survivor-centered case management. And in yesterday's focus, hello?
Yes, please. We can hear you.
Hello? Yesterday's focus was on assessment. The previous day, we had done introduction and engagement. And yesterday, we were looking at, basically, we did assessment. We looked at what to expect during an assessment. We looked at those things that are expected of a case manager to do when carrying out assessment during handling GBV cases. So we said, first of all, the person will have to be a good listener. You have to also facilitate disclosure. That was a major thing that was mentioned yesterday that actually caught my attention. And then she went further to say, while listening, as you're listening to the survivor, you should ensure that you're able to watch the person's body movement. You're able to watch the person so that you understand. You know if the person is comfortable in the environment or not, or even with you. If you notice that such a person is not too comfortable in talking to you, you can get someone else to come to continue with the facilitation. Or if you see that the person is getting too emotional while narrating his or her story, you can ask the person to take a rest, and then you continue from there when the person is in a better state. You should also inquire about the survivor's well-being, the needs, what the person needs at that. And during assessment, you should also try to find out the person's age, the people in the environment with the person. That's if the person is living within a family. If it is necessary in connection to the case, you should find the number of perpetrators. Like in case of rape, you'll find out if it was gang rape or it was just a single person that perpetrated the act. So during the interview session, we are also encouraged to build trust in the survivor. Let there be trust between you so that the person is able to talk to you openly concerning how he or she is feeling. So those were the few things I was able to grab. We also talked about psychosocial needs. We talked about legal assessments. We talked about and all that.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. Does any other person want to share with us in the next 2 minutes? Bukumi Bolaji, are you speaking?
Someone was okay.
All right. Who else wants to share with us? Let me look at someone whose voice I've not heard.
Hi. Mr. Danny, are you sure you can hear everybody's voice today? Please,
All right. Jamima, how do you? Or do you want to share with us, madam?
Mr. Daniel,
yes,
why I want to plead with you, you know, yesterday we had this conversation about the timing for today's session. Yes. You understand? So you now promised that you will start early, and you told us now we will start 4:15, right?
Yes.
And the first person that shared with us kind of almost covered everything. So I want to plead with you to just allow me to do my welcome. If our facilitator is around, except if she's not yet around. Is she around?
Yes, she's around already.
Okay, beautiful. So if she's around, so please let me just welcome us and appreciate all our efforts in joining and the passion with which we all embrace this very important knowledge. Yesterday, when I shared the number that have registered and are participating in our platform, a member of our board of our governing council was so impressed. She's not around, but she was so impressed, and she was like, from the report, she was like, this is to see that our people are passionate and they want to learn, you know. So based on that, I want to appreciate us from the Board of Trustees of Association Against Child Sexual and Gender-Based Violence. I want to also bring greetings from the Governing Council of the Governing Council of Association Against Child Sexual and Gender-Based Violence to everyone that is participating in this very important topic, this very important knowledge. This will help us to do what we do better in our own communities and in our own organizations. So on behalf of all of us from the association, we want to thank everyone and welcome us and hope that this knowledge will be well used in our own communities. So that's my greeting, Mr. Daniel, to all of us.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Juan.
Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma.
So without further delay, I'll just call our trainer to join us now. She's still here. Dr. Beatrice, you have the floor, please. You are muted.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, our national chair. Thank you for welcoming us. Thank you, everyone. And I sincerely want to apologize again for changing the time. I know it was not easy for a lot of persons. Some are not even here because of the change in time. I personally want to apologize because of the change in the time. But just like Mr. Daniel has promised that we are going to be sharing the recordings, especially for those that couldn't make it for today. And again, I also want to say I'm still excited. Despite the change in time, I'm seeing about 47 participants already. And I know that more are coming in. And just like our national chair has just said, it shows that we are actually passionate about what we are doing. Because as Dr. Izito came yesterday mentioned, GBV is actually a monster that is eating up our society. So it's from our engagements, it's very clear that everybody wants to, come together and fight this menace. And I believe as GBV has, this is one of our core mandates to see to it that we are built, that is, our capacity is built to the point where we effectively discharge our services that will help in eliminating eliminating the violence in our society. So once again, you are all welcome and thank you. So we are going straight to we have done step 1 and 2. Go straight to 3, 4, 5, 6 is not much. And like I will always say, even before we started, step 1 has always been the key. Even all the things I'll be mentioning in these steps now, we'll still be referring it back to step 1. Once you get step 1, other steps becomes easier. So we'll go straight to step 3, which is case action planning. Once again, I'll off my video for better quality. So case action planning is just the way you plan your action, your normal action plan in our organizations. So this one now is case action planning. That is, you are planning, having a plan on how you are going to support the survivor to access services. You can see the purpose there, the case action plan, which is based on the information gathered. When did we get this information? At step 2, which is the assessment. It guides service provision for the survivor. It helps you, even the caseworker, it helps you, it guides you to be able to ensure that the survivor gets the necessary services that she requires. Now, case action planning, summarize your understanding of the survivor's key needs. During the assessment, the survivor has told you a lot of things. So in case action planning, you first of all summarize, give information about what services and supports are available and what can be expected from them. You are reiterating what you have told the survivor already in step 1 when you come to case action planning. Plan with the person how to meet needs, set personal goals, and make decisions about what will happen next. Develop and document a case action plan. Discuss concerns with your supervisor. What that means is that, you will not plan, you will not have that action plan, roll that alone. You do that with your survivor. But when you see that there are some challenges while you people are trying to plan together, you meet your superior in the office. If you have a supervisor in your office, you talk to your supervisor or your ED, depending on the structure that you will have in your organization. And then you people work out together. Please, when you are doing that, don't forget confidentiality. You are not supposed to reveal the name of the survivor to your supervisor or your ED. You are not supposed to reveal all the information she has dished out for you. Information you are giving out is going to be based on need to know, what we call need to know. I know you people are familiar with that. On need to know basis, that's the information you can give out to your supervisor or ED to help you navigate around the challenges that you have in planning the action, having the action plan with the survivor. Next slide. Next slide, Daniel. Hello, are we together? So this is just what it is all about. This is what action plan is all about, the case action plan. Summarize the assessment, check in with the survivor. Checking in with the survivor is to ask the survivor, what we planned is okay, right? Is there any other thing? Is there any other thing you think we should add? That is checking in with the survivor. Discuss each need with the survivor. There are 4 basic needs that we mentioned during the assessment: psychological need, safety need, health need, and legal needs. So discuss all of them with the survivor, depending on what she or he wants. So it's not a must that the survivor will have all the needs. The survivor may just want safety needs, that is shelter. The survivor may just want medical needs. And there are some survivors that will will have all the needs, the 4 pillars that I just mentioned. So but you discuss each of the needs with the survivor. Carry out safety planning, especially for those that will need safety, that will need shelter. A safety plan with the survivor. I want to leave the house. Okay, what will you do before you leave the house? When you leave the house, where is the safest place you will be? And what time do you think you can leave the house that will not generate, that will not raise an eyebrow, or that can further, put you in harm? You discuss all those things with the survivor. Get informed consent to provide reference. Remember, we said informed consent comes before you even hear her story, during the case implementation, and when making referrals. So before you do referrals, you must get informed consent from the survivor. Identify who will be responsible for facilitating services. Remember, you don't have all the services. You are only a GBV case manager. So you don't have hospital in your organization. You don't have chamber. You are not a lawyer that is providing legal services in your organization. So all these needs, you need to know where and who is providing it. So that is why in your action plan, that is where you also impute who or where you are going to get those services. Make accompaniment plans. I think I mentioned it before, that when you are handling a survivor, you must make sure that, like going to the courts, you don't allow the survivor to just be going alone, because what they are there to do is to give her support. So you must make a plan. If, for instance, like some of us somehow in the States, they have known us for GBV issues. So sometimes we don't go out with survivors. What we do is to assign someone that goes there. That is, if we feel that we don't need to be there to raise eyebrows, so we can assign someone else to follow or accompany the survivor to access medical services, access psychosocial services, access legal services, or any of the services that she might need or he might need. So you also make the plan. Document these agreements on a case action plan form. You should have a case action plan form. Identify a time and a place for a follow-up meeting. A follow-up meeting. The survivor might not be comfortable always coming to the office. So she might say, they have noticed that I'm always coming here, and the way they look at me when I'm coming here, I don't like it. Please, is there another place? Can we meet somewhere else where I can give you more information? Already you have gotten all the information you need from the assessment. So you also do a follow-up plan. How are we going to be meeting? If she's comfortable all through in your office, beautiful. But if she say, it's better we meet at the marketplace where I sell my things, please go there and meet the person. The main thing is the safety of the survivor. So you do everything possible to ensure that she feels safe or he feels safe. Discuss any issues or concerns with your supervisor. Like I earlier said, if there are concerns, if there are issues, discuss with your supervisor or your ED. And please, I'm also reiterating again, while discussing with your supervisor or your ED, don't forget confidentiality. There should be no breach in confidentiality. Next slide. So this is all that it is. You summarize safety needs, medical needs, psychosocial and legal needs. These are the 4 pillars of needs when it comes to GBV case management. So you check in with the survivor and that this is also their understanding. You know, you are planning together. So you make sure that people are on one page. Next slide. Daniel, can you go to the action plan? Because we don't have much time. Very good. So now this is a sample of your action plan template. It's just a sample. You can develop it on your own. So action points, go. What do you intend to achieve? So you put all the needs. You have the 4 pillars. But like I said, it's not everybody that needs the 4 pillars. So if there is safety needs, you put safety needs in that action point. And then the safety needs you put in bracket. Is it shelter or what other things does the survivor need to make her feel safe? You put it in bracket. By who? Who is providing it? For instance, if I'm taking her to an organization that provides shelter, I will put, for instance, I will put Hillcare Foundation. Then I put the name of the person. If possible, I put the number. Remember, this document belongs to you, so that's why it should be kept safe. By when? Let me ask this question. Scenario 2. The woman that her husband beat with an iron and broke her head. And she has told you that she's afraid of going back to that home. So if your action point is to provide safety needs, by when should you provide that need? Please, I need someone to answer.
I would think immediately, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Immediately, ma.
Immediately. So you put it there immediately. So she needs that safety needs. That is, you provide it immediately. Immediately after assessment, and you have drawn the action points, you know that she needs safety. One of her needs is safety, and she needs shelter immediately. Now, by who? Depends on the survivor. You already have a shelter that you work with, Hillcare Foundation, for instance. But if that is not what she wants, she said, no, I have one of my church member that I have been talking with her, and she told me that anytime I'm ready, she has a place for me, and I feel safe. Very good. You just to put the name of the person there and the phone number. Then you contact the person and ensure she goes there and she feels safe. So it's not a must that is the organization that provides shelter that you take her to know where will she feel safe if she leaves that house. That's where you will put. That's the essence of the action point. So you go to the next one. If there is medical need, you put medical in the next one. By who? If it's Federal Medical Center, Akure, you put it there. By when? That woman that is bleeding, when should she get that medical need addressed?
Immediately.
Immediately.
Yes.
If it's someone that is raped, when does she need the medical need?
Immediately.
Immediately.
As possible.
But if the rape occurred like 3 days ago or 4 days, let me say 3-5 days ago, when does she need medical needs?
Test.
Immediately too. As soon as it's
Sorry?
reported, you can take her to the hospital. As soon as it's reported, you can take her to the hospital where sample will be taken.
Exactly. Because, yesterday, we talked about PEP, and we said PEP should be administered within 72 hours. So maybe the person has come after 72 hours, and then you now say, it has passed 72 hours now. What will we now do? No. Still take the person there. Let the doctors be the ones to know what they should diagnose and the best services to give to her. So that is that. You just keep filling in your action point, who is providing it and by when. If it is tomorrow, fine. Going to the police, if it is immediately, you put immediately. And when we say immediately, please put the dates. Don't, because we said immediately. Immediately has no, immediately anybody that picked it can think it's today. So as you put immediately, you put in bracket the dates. That validates your So remember, I said follow up. You need to also discuss with the survivor on how she wants you to follow her up. If she's fine, it's part of the follow up. Anything that will make her feel safe, that is what we ensure. Except where you know that no, this her decision is not okay. You also professionally let her know that the suggestion she's giving might not favor her. So you let her know so maybe the negative outcome of such suggestion, so that she can equally look at it properly, and then people come to an agreement. Next slide. If issues arise during the course of your assessment and action planning regarding urgent safety concerns, be sure to discuss them with your supervisor. Daniel, please mute everyone. Be sure to discuss them with your supervisor before you close the case action planning session with the survivor. That has already been mentioned, that if there are concerns while you are having that action plan, please discuss with your supervisor, discuss with your superior, discuss with your ED, so that they will now give you a better advice on what you can do about the plans. Maybe the woman is saying, I want to go to my church member's house. That's where, but she has also told you that that church member has, maybe one day, there's a day that the church member called her husband and told her husband that she was with her. So you will see now that she's actually not very safe without her church member, because the church member has once betrayed her. So you have to, if she's proving difficult that he still wants to go there, at that point, you can talk to your supervisor or your superior to give you a better idea on how to handle the issue, because at that point, you might not be able to know what to do. And don't bring in a third person. You are only seeking your supervisor or your superior's opinion, but don't bring in third person to speak with the survivor, except she agrees. Maybe you can tell her, okay, it's not that I'm going to tell her all your story, but I want her to advise you on so. Are you comfortable with that? If she says yes, then you can bring her in. But be sure to make us feel safe with you and believe that you are not breaching confidentiality agreement people had. So that is that for step 5 is case action planning. With the template that I've shown, the template is very simple. It's something that you can on your own fill up and then you begin to implement, and that is step 4. Step 4 is implementation. As the word is implementation, you have done introduction and engagement, her needs or his needs, and then now what you are now going to do is to implement that action plan that you have developed. So effectively implement the case action plan with the survivor. Understand how to use case conferencing. I'm going to talk about that later to support the survivor. What was case conferencing? To support the survivor. Then you conduct appropriate case follow-up. That is what it is about implementation. Next slide. Next slide. So implementation, what is the purpose? Connect the survivor to relevant service providers through what? Referrals. Somebody asked in our first meeting that where does referral fall in the steps? Referral falls under implementation. You remember you have done assessment. Now you have made you have drawn your action plan. In that action plan that you said, who is providing those services? You now mention Federal Medical Center, Akure. So that Federal Medical Center, Akure, they are not the one handling the case, but you are going to do what? Refer the person to the hospital. Are we together? So that is the referral now. That is the referral. So referral falls in within the implementation. So this is your implementation now is to begin to, make sure that the survivor gets those services that you have already outlined on your action case planning, the case action planning, sorry. So you make referrals, advocate for and support survivors to assessing services, lead case coordination, provide direct services if needed, if relevant and needed. Now, this is a picture. Okay. Yes, well, I think we have said this before. So just go straight to the picture. If you look at the pictures that you see there, you see the survivor will report to someone she trusts. That is you. You are the caseworker she's reporting to. So what do you now do? You now accompany her to health center upon her consent, all the things that she needs. Medical service, you see psychosocial, you see legal, you see safety and investigation, justice, medical follow, all these are the services. So depending on the one that the survivor needs or wants to assess, you now ensure as the GBV case manager that she gets or he gets all the services. Next slide. And that's what we call referral pathway, isn't it? What we call referral pathway. It starts from the GBV caseworker. Then you begin to make referral to the various institutions that provide different services that the survivor needs. So so we are done with action planning. That is step 4. We are done with implementation, step 5. I don't know, Daniel, should I pause a little before we go into follow up? Whether there is 1 or 2 questions, or I should finish the 6 steps before we take questions.
Facilitator, please, can you pause so that we take group photograph?
Okay.
Thank
Daniel.
you.
Okay. That works too. Let me stop sharing my screen. And for those who may have questions, I think that this will also be a good time to write them onto the Q&A box or in the chat. All right, so I'm starting with page 1 now. This one that everybody is saying that did not see themselves yesterday. So I hope
try
that
so that they will not throw the stones.
All right, we have 3 pages here, so I'm just going to take it 1 page at a time. And each page is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 25 pictures per page, or 25 participants per page. I hope I'm able to capture everybody today. Let me see this. This page.
Yeah, you have not heard me.
Sorry, please, the network cut me off. I hope I didn't miss much.
No, you didn't miss much. You are welcome.
Okay. All right.
The other day I was not captured. The other day I was not captured on the picture.
Okay,
You
let me
better
start
be
all
captured
over
today.
again. So let me start all over again. So let me just start over again. I'm on the first page again, so that everybody will be captured.
Okay.
What's the problem?
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
I'm on the second page now.
Daniel, I hope you're including yourself in the capturing.
Yes, I am.
Okay, good.
I wouldn't forget myself. That's why my camera is on. All right. Second page now. Let me save it so that I can then do the third page. Just a moment while I save this.
I didn't see myself yesterday. I hope I'll be captured today.
Okay, so the trick is that if you on your camera, you'll be on the first 2 pages. But if your camera is off, so I'm on the 3rd page now. So you see all these people in the 3rd page now, nobody's putting on their camera.
Is my camera on?
I'm on the 3rd page now, so I can't see.
My camera is on. Mr. Daniel, my camera is on.
All right, let me just do that one more time to just.
Where is my camera?
Okay, so I'm back to the first page now. So let me just take the first page again, so that I'll make sure that everybody is seen.
But Regina is showing so much. Mr. Daniel, I hope you are not making quiet bomb, because I don't know why you keep showing my Regina. I'm jealous.
All right. Okay.
Thank God. I hope we are captured too.
Yes, I'm capturing the second page again, just so that I will not have any excuse for not capturing your beautiful faces.
Teacher, I'm going to see the director. See how we'll do something.
Daniel, please capture me now.
Daniel didn't capture me.
Yes, I'm capturing everyone now. Yes, I think I've captured everyone now.
Okay,
yes,
thank you.
I don't know where I fell in. Whether I hope I am captured. That's the most important thing.
Yes, please. Who is speaking?
Yeah, Dr. Mrs. Boye. I've not been captured. Capture me.
We cannot capture you. Are using a techno camera phone. Your camera is captured.
Yeah, in trouble.
Okay, Daniel.
Serious
Daniel, how will you capture me?
Everybody say capture me.
You are captured.
Everybody is captured. My camera on.
So the woman using techno cam on, your camera is never on, so there's no way I can capture you. You are showing techno cam on 12.
How do I when I can't
Mr.
stop
Daniel,
your
please, have you captured me? I'm using Oppo.
So for everybody
you are
whose
fine.
camera is on, I think I've captured them.
Have you captured
Okay.
me?
Yeah, have you
Okay, Mr. Daniel, can we continue?
Daniel, you're
Yes,
not
please.
done.
I'm done now. Please, let's continue.
We are here. Full house.
Please, facilitator, just give me 1 minute, please.
Okay, please, can you mute everyone?
Facilitator, please just give me 1 minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please, I want to just use this opportunity to appeal to us. Please, are we together? Yes, I want to use this opportunity to appeal to us because while we are in stage four of the steps, we talked
What
about
do you want me to
referral
say now?
services. And the association provides that space for all the partners to be together. So I want to encourage us that as persons that have gone through this process, the association, the window is open for any one of us from our region that we're not coordinating. We will share the states where we have coordinators already. So those states where we were not having active coordination, we want to plead with you that after this training going forward, we want you to just be the referral spot. The referral spot, that's like the coordinating body, is just that when there is call from you are already the CBO. This program is for us as CBOs, but the association provides a coordination opportunity for us to bring ourselves together. So when there is a need, after you have done your own aspect, you do referrals. So all you need to do is to get those people you have referred to or that you will be making referral to be on a WhatsApp page. And when an issue comes, you just work together. So that's the platform that is created by the association. So I just want to use the opportunity to chip it in that with going forward, we will send email, we send more information to you about coordinating the association's activity wherever you are. So thank you very much thank you for giving me this 2 minutes, facilitator. Thank you. I'm over.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you.
Okay. I will pause here. I will just take 1 or 2 questions in regards to the 3 steps we have done. That is case action planning. Okay, the 2 that we just did today, case action planning and implementation. If there is anyone that has 1 or 2 questions, we'll take 2, 3 questions. Daniel, please coordinate.
Yes, Dr. Mekuye, please go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I want to use this opportunity to say thank you for the opportunity. Ma, when you were presenting, you talked about the need to know. You also mentioned that even in our place of work, our supervisor should not be aware of the case that we are handling with the survivor. So I was wondering if it is an organizational based case, the matter would have come straight to the organization. So I don't know how I'm going to, what I mean is,
okay, I
how can
understand
it be
your
possible
question.
for other members of
Yes. Actually, it's just because of, let me put it this way. Sometimes most organizations don't have funding. And because most of us don't have funding, we sometimes don't have GBV case managers as an office. There is someone that we call the GBV case manager. Sometimes it's like it's we, maybe the ED or anyone that is trained on GBV that handles the case. But in a structured organization, we're supposed to have a GBV case manager. So that GBV case manager is the one that is supposed to have the details of that survivor. That is the details, everything about the survivor. You remember we talked about coding system. So your form is supposed to be coded. So even your supervisor or your ED, when you are telling the supervisor about the case, is not supposed to know the name of the survivor. It's that code that is supposed to know. You understand? And then the details of that survivor is not supposed to be mentioned to the ED or your supervisor, except where there is need. Where there is need, like I said, it's based on need to know. There is this case of 005. Her case is about her husband that maltreated her. He beat her. He used metal object to strike her on the head, and she's bleeding. So she wants to leave the house. The problem now is that she wants to go to a church member's house, but I'm trying to let her know that based on what she has told me, the church member has, there was a time the church member called the husband and told the husband that she was with her. So I've already told her that she might not be very safe in the church member's house, but somehow she's proving difficult. I don't know how to handle it. Should I allow her to still go to the church member's house, or I should still insist that she should choose a better place? Because now, you are two, so you can put your heads together. Your supervisor, your ED may tell you, okay, I think you should tell her A, B, C, D, E. Of course, I can't tell you what to do now. It depends on the situation on ground. So two of you put your heads together. It's just for you to get, more, how will I put it? To get the view of another person, which is your supervisor. Because if 10 people walk into your organization, your ED, except if it is the ED that is the case manager, your ED should not know that Amina was raped, Hajara is her husband that is beating her. She might know that they are GBV survivors, but she might not know their details, the details, because it might also make, we are human beings. We are human beings. The ED might not be a trained GBV caseworker. She might have some kind of, not just she might, we are human beings. There's where you see somebody, before you know it, you can start resenting the person based on the information that they are giving you or something like that. But when she doesn't have details of those people, she will treat everybody equal that comes into that organization. So that's the essence of the confidentiality. We are not saying that, of course, your ED needs to know the case you are handling, but the details of that person, she doesn't need to know it, except where there is need. That's why we say need to know basis. So I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yes, thank you so much, Ma. Clear.
All right. So one more before I go forward. Okay.
No
so
name is identifying, so we should just proceed.
Okay, so let's go on. So we have 2 more steps to finish up. We have follow-up and case closure. In the next 5-10 minutes, we'll be done with this one, because all that needs to be said has been said. So follow-up, what's the purpose? Assess the status of the survivor's situation and case action plan. Remember, you drafted your action plan in step 3. So now what do? You have implemented the action plan. So what do you do after the survivor has gotten PEP, gotten all the medical services, gotten all the services that you need? How are you following up to make sure that she's getting those medical services? For instance, if the doctor has booked an appointment with her, okay, come back after 2 months, come back after 2 weeks. How would you know that she has gone back after that 2 weeks? It's during follow-up. When you follow, you call her. Tomorrow is the appointment with the doctor. That is follow-up. Okay. So person will be following to the hospital. That's accompaniment. Then you are making sure she's getting those services. Your court hearing is tomorrow. So I hope you are ready. You have prepared yourself. That is follow-up. So you follow up and make sure that those services that are outlined on your case action planning is followed up, and then the survivor is also receiving them. So you meet with or contact the survivor as agreed. Reassess safety. Safety is key. Each time you have discussion with the survivor, always reassess her safety or his safety. Wherever he is, wherever she is, ensure that the person is safe. Review and revise the case action plan. Can you change what you have written in your action plan before? Yes. There could be new needs, so you add more action in your plan. There's some plans that you have put as you are moving on, you find out that it's no longer necessary. So you expunge and, replace with another. Remember, you're not doing it alone. You do it with the survivor. You review and revise the case action plan, then implement the revised case action plan. It can be going on and on. So, assess the status, okay? Case follow-up process. Review the case action plan with the survivor. Discuss which services were assessed. Oh, I have gotten all the medical services I need. Discuss, is there any other challenge? After the doctor examined me the other day, I don't know, I start feeling pain towards my waist. I don't know what's okay. So there is need to visit the doctor again. You put it again in your action plan. Identify new needs that have emerged. Where I kept my children are always calling to tell me that they are not comfortable. So there is a new need. You know that wherever you kept her, wherever she is, she will not feel comfortable as long as her children are not feeling comfortable. So what can you do at that point? Two of you will discuss on what to do, either to bring the children together with her or whatever plan you are going to come up with. Those may be new needs that you need to, that come up that you need to also address. Revise the case action plan. Document outcomes of referrals. Let me chip in this now. Remember that anytime you are referring a case to your partners, you are supposed to document. You are supposed to have a referral form that you fill and send to the partner, and then the partners too will sign. You have your own copy and documents, because they will sign the services that they are going to. You will tell them the services that your survivor needs, and they will tell you the services they will provide. And then you document the document. It's very important. So document outcomes of referrals, document any new needs, schedule another follow-up visit. Okay, we met today. When next can we see? You schedule. Implement revised case action plan. Obtain consent for any new referrals. So if you are doing any new referrals, please get a consent form. That is all about follow-up. So the last one is case closure. Case closure. Will the case continue forever? No. Will you continue managing the survivor forever? No. There must be anything, there's anything that has a beginning must have an end. So what is the purpose? Recognize when the work is finished with a survivor and terminate with the survivor in a safe and supportive way. What do you do? No, let's go back. What do you do? Determine if and when the case should be closed. When should it be closed? Document the case closure. If possible, administer client feedback survey. Now, the steps are 6, but if we are to do this, it makes it 7. That is the client feedback survey. It's not compulsory. The client feedback survey is when you have closed the case, and then maybe after a while, you can now call the survivor and say, okay, can you come and fill a survey for me? That survey is feedback for your organization to assess how well you handled that survivor, and also to get recommendations from the survivor. It's not compulsory. It's something that can be done out of free will by your survivor. If you so desire as an organization, you can get design a form in that regards and get your survivors to do that after you have closed the case. Safely store the closed case file. Don't forget, from beginning we'll be saying that move the closed file to a new cabinet. When you have closed her file, when you have closed his case, close her case, all the document that has to do with that particular survivor, you will now put it, you should have a cabinet where you keep the files of those that their cases has been closed. How do you close the case? Number one, determine if the case meets criteria for closure. You will see the criteria for closure. Number two, document when a case is closed and the specific reasons for doing so. Number three, safely store the closed case file. I have mentioned it before. Next slide. So when do you close a case? One, when the client's needs are met, you check your action plan. The case action plan, go back, both the first one, the revised one, check all of them, and, have a checklist. Has this one been met? Yes. Has this one been met? Yes. If all of them has been met, then there's no need for you to keep managing the case. The case has concluded and you close it. When the survivor wants to close the case, the survivor might not have accessed all the services that you outlined in your case action plan, and she insists that she wants to close the case. Please close the case. It's not your case. Yes, because we do that a lot as GBV case managers. We bring in our activism into case management, into GBV case management. It's not outrightly bad on itself, but we need to draw the curtain. We need to know where, we need to be professional and ethical in what we do. There's a time for activism. There's a point where activism will be needed. But in managing GBV survivor, the focus is the well-being of the survivor, survivor-centered management. So when she wants to close the case, you close the case. Number three, when the survivor leaves the area or is relocated to another place. If the survivor was in Benue and then she relocated to Lagos State, I cannot be going to Lagos State to continue managing her case. And whatever happened here in Benue. So, but if peradventure there is need to, it means that it's what we call transfer. I can only transfer. I cannot continue managing the case. So I close the case. The fourth and the last, when you have not been able to reach the survivor for a minimum of 30 days. 30 days is 1 month. When you cannot reach the survivor for minimum of 1 month. Of course, the maximum is you that will determine, but that doesn't mean that it's forever. After 30 days, you are followed up, you are calling and she's not picking or he's not connecting. You could not reach the survivor, both in person, online, then you need to close the case. Ensure clear and open communication around closure. Discuss it with the survivor. You can see, Amina, your case, we have finished it, the action plan. Look at it here. All the services you need, you have gotten them, and now you are safe. Now you have gotten all the services needed. So we need to close your case because everything you need, you have gotten it. And she say, yes, of course, I've gotten it. And then you now close the case. Don't just close it on your own. Close it together. Discuss it together before you close. Follow up with the survivor and discuss her situation. While closing, you discuss her situation. Amina, has your situation improved now? Yes, ma, it has improved. Okay, so I know you can stand on your own now. Yes, ma, I can. Please, let's close the case. Review together the final action plan you made with her and the status of each goal as outlined on your action plan. Review all of the progress made, changes in her life, and discuss her future aspirations. This is like empowering her now. Okay, after now, what next? What next? She will tell you, okay, I will do ABCD. You give her thumbs up. But where you need to advise, you advise. Explain that her case will close, but reassure her that she can always return for services. That is, if there is any issue, she can always, but it's officially closed, but in case, because now you have built a relationship, she's now your friend. So, but if there is anything that she will want to discuss with you, she can call you or she can come to the office. So it's just to make her feel that closing the case does not mean that you don't have anything to do with her again. Documenting case closure. Complete a case closure form if your program has one. and it should have one. You have a case closure form where you close the case. In that case closure form, you should be able to mention the services that were outlined in the action plan, and you have to comment there that all the services has been assessed, and that is why you are closing the case. Review the case with a supervisor and obtain approval for the closure. Of course, GBV caseworker, you are working under a supervisor or you are working under an ED, and if it's the ED, fine. So, but if you are under a superior, you need to discuss with the superior before you close the case. Don't just close it without discussion. Review all of the forms in the survivor's file and ensure the file is complete. That is for documentation purpose. Check all your files to make sure they are complete so that anytime you bring up her case, you know that everything about her is complete. Safe storage of closed cases. Move the survivor's file to a closed cases cabinet. We've mentioned that before. Do not include the consent form in the closed file. Please, can you mute? Daniel, mute everyone, please. Do not include the consent form in the closed file. We have mentioned it before. Your consent form should be separated from other documents because that consent form has a complete name, a complete document. Other forms has codes, but the consent form has a name. So that is why you need to keep it separate from others. Move the consent form to a closed case consent form, cabinet or file. Just keep it safe. Next slide. Think that is all for the case closure. This one, I have mentioned it before, the client feedback survey form. That one is optional. If you as an organization want to do it, and if the survivor is comfortable giving you feedback about your services, please, you can administer the client feedback survey form. It's optional. It's not, that's why it was not added as part of the steps. If not, would have said it has 7 steps, but it ends at case closure. The other one is optional. It's just like when you are doing a project and you have MIE, but you want to have a step further by bringing an external MIE to come and evaluate the work you have done. It's the same thing with the survey. So it's optional, it's not compulsory. You just want to have a feedback. So that is all for now. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much as we now
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, we'll now have some questions before the next activity that we want to do. Daniel.
Yes, ma, I am here. I'm looking at the participant now. Nobody's raising hand to ask any question. So if you do have a question, please just signify so that we'll acknowledge you.
Okay, they don't have a question, so I have to ask them a question.
Okay.
Yes, because we need to. Why we had to? I told Daniel that
Those hand is up.
I'll finish my. Yes, I said our question by 5:15 so that we have enough time. Like I earlier told us, this training is not the complete package of GBV case management. It's just the steps. So there are so many things that I know might be going through your mind. So that's why we want to give opportunity for questions so that we can take as much questions as we can to a kind of help us to understand better what we are talking about. Okay, I can see one hand up, so I will reserve my question until we answer that question.
Great.
Good evening once again.
Yes,
good evening once again, everyone. Actually, it's not really a question, but network had thrown me out when you were talking about closure and how to close the case. I just came back and
I'm struggling to hear you.
I said the network had thrown me out when you started discussing closure. So I couldn't get what you said about closure. Hello?
About case closure.
About case closure. The network has thrown
Yes,
me
the
out.
material will be shared, so you will see everything there.
All right. So besides that, I don't have any other questions.
Even
Thank you.
the recordings will be shared too. So you
All right.
get
Thank
it
you,
all.
ma.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, great. So I'll also share the link to the post test in the chat so that we can as well be filling that in as we are interacting and asking questions. Let's not forget to sign the attendance today as it is very, very important. I've also posted the attendance link on the chat box so that we can all fill that in. So we have two persons now. Habakkuk, please go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon. Good evening now. Before my contribution of concern on the attendance, I submit. It was telling me that is the 2 of 3. So I don't know which one of the 3 I didn't say the 3 on. Having said that, I have a concern in a situation where there is a case of rape of a girl under 12, and the such perpetrator happened to be a brother to the chairman of the local government, and then you don't want the case to go further. So in such situation, how do we handle it in that way?
Sorry, Daniel, can you rephrase this question? I didn't really get that.
Okay, so there has been a case of rape, and the person involved is brother to a high standing political official, such as a chairman of a local government. And then they, because of the position, want the case to die down. So how do we approach that?
Yes, that's why I said number one is the survivor interested in the case? If the survivor is interested in that case, remember GBV case management, you are only managing the survivor. Now, if the survivor wants to take, we have the 4 pillars of the needs of survivor. You have the psychosocial, you have the safety, you have the medical, and then you have the legal. The legal now, that's where we are talking about. Does the survivor wants the legal? If the survivor wants the legal, fine. So at that point, what you will now do is to canvass for support from other organizations. That's where activism now comes in. Once you now try to mobilize people to support, not you now as the GBV case management, remember you are working under an organization. So your organization will know about the case and know that, okay, they are trying to manipulate the case. They are trying to, what do you call it now? Sweep it under the carpet. So the organization now will pull support from other organizations and networks. And with that support, they'll be able to, make sure that the person is brought to book. But remember, it must be with the consent of the survivor. The survivor needs to know the implications, need to know that once you bring in people that are going to start making serious noise about the case, you should not back out at that point. The survivor needs to be brought to book. But if you say, no, I don't want, all I want is that I just want medical services, I just want to get myself back and, and just feel safe where I am, fine. Sometimes we bring our own personal sentiment into it, which is not bad, because anything that has to do with GBV, you see that the passion is there. Because you cannot imagine some persons, engaging in such acts. So there's that empathy, there's that, anger in you. You want to make sure that the perpetrator is brought to book. Is very okay. But that is activism now. It's not part of GBV case management, because GBV case management is purely focused on the survivor. So if the survivor now said, I want legal, fine, it will be at the forefront. Yours is now to be pulling support for the survivor to make sure that that case is handled. Most cases that has to do with well-placed individuals, please, it's not for me. I believe it's not something that an individual should handle. It's not something that one organization should handle. You can be the lead. For instance, now in Benue State, we have handled such cases where when I will just write, it comes to me as my personal organization, but I'll just write, because I'm the Benue State coordinator for this association here. So I will just write it, write to the police or to DSS or whoever I want to write it, using Association Against Gender-Based Violence. When they see the letterhead, what would they see? They will see national. That alone, they will know that, okay, this is not just about Benue State. This is not just about a particular person. This is not just about an organization. It's a national thing. And they know that it can be, it can go viral. So at that point, they will now cautiously want to do the right thing. So, but when you go as an individual, you can get hurt. They may start tracking you. The perpetrator will start looking out for you. So that is why the survivor takes the lead. Is he interested? Is she interested? Then you mobilize support. So that's what I think we should do. I don't know if I answered. I believe we also have some experts here. Please, if you feel there's some things I left out, you are free to contribute.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Ma, for that answer. We have Dr. Ngozi too. Please go ahead, Dr. Ngozi.
Okay, thank you very much, Daniel. Thank you, facilitator, and thank you, everyone. So just like she called for more clarification, yes, I would like to even point something to what she said before I even go ahead to make my contribution. So in the aspect of survivor taking a lead, so we have situations whereby we're talking about a case now being versus the perpetrator and the state. So at that point, the truth is that whether the survivor now wants it or not, we are pursuing that case because that perpetrator has to be stopped. We've had cases whereby children were raped. This person is more like he's a serial rapist and have even infected a lot of children within that vicinity with HIV. So are you now telling that because one survivor wants to pull out, you're now saying, no, we have to, no. What we are saying is that if the survivor said, oh, I'm not interested in pursuing legal, no problem. But the fact is that it now becomes a case between the state and the perpetrator. And the state has the right to pursue the case to its logical conclusion. That's the honest truth. Everybody has a right, but there's also where your right stops, especially where we see that this person, if we don't need this person in the board, this person will continue to cause havoc in the immediate community. So that is where we now have to mobilize all the state actors and use it on this person. We've had cases like this, and that's why, in fact, while this was going on, I just remembered one organization I would have actually asked to participate in this training. That's a Basic Rights Initiative in Cross River State, Calabar. So I know that organization, I follow them, I know them too well, and I follow all their activities. This is an organization that even if it is the governor, they will make sure that the governor is brought to book. I don't know how it escaped me. I didn't remember to share this this training information. I shared it with a lot of people actually that joined, but I don't know why I forgot them. In fact, it is now that we're talking about high-profile cases. That's when I now remember them, because it's more like it's even more like their own stock in trade. That's why that's what they specialize in. Tell us that it is the governor who has raped somebody, and they will go after it and they will follow it to its logical conclusion and make sure that that governor is brought to book. They don't back down. Excellent. So that's what I wanted to say to that. Yeah.
Yes,
so then
thank you.
secondly, okay. Yeah, okay. So
okay,
secondly, my point, yes, there was a place I wanted to clarify. You said something about because of the fact that we had to do a closure for a survivor, that because this person have not become we want to be friends with survivors. I don't know, but you may still need to clarify that. I don't think because you see you see these people, you see many of them. So how many do you want to keep as friends? So for me, I don't think that the word there should be that friend.
Can I call you back when I'm done?
Because the but empathize. Because the moment you want to probably now become friends with them, you're making yourself even vulnerable. Like this organization I talked about in Calabar. There was one time someone had a case in Calabar there, and I linked them up to please help this person out. Do you know that eventually they helped this person, even got this person out of the police? And this is someone who is working and earning huge salary. But because of this person's lifestyle, this person now made it a habit. More like he now started blackmailing this lawyer that helped him. Oftentimes he will now chat him up, "I'm broke, dash me money." And at the point, this person had to now call to ask me, "Please, I thought you said this person is gainfully employed and is earning well. Somebody who is earning close to ₦1 million in a month." And I said, "Yes, the person is working and earning salary." He said, are you aware? Has the person been sacked?" I said, "No, the person has not been sacked. He's still earning salary. So why is this person on my neck?" I've had to, in fact, after this your call now, because I just wanted to confirm from you that this person is still gainfully employed, and I am going to block this person. I said, "Please go ahead." And I now called the person that called me. I said, "You know me, oh. If I go straight to this person, you won't like me. Tell the person to stop harassing this organization. People did not help you for you to start harassing them."
So for me, because of our time.
Okay,
sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You made wonderful contributions. I will still talk on the two issues you mentioned. What you said is very much on point. Then let's understand this. When we say that except if the survivor is interested. Now remember, when you say a case is between the perpetrator and the state cannot move on without the evidence. And where do you get those evidence? It's still from the survivor. So now, what are we saying? If it's a minor and you have already gotten, even whether a minor or not, remember in your assessment and implementation, that's where you would have collected everything that you need from the survivor.
Exactly.
At that point, and it has gotten to the legal practitioners. At that point, even if the survivor pulls out, the case can still continue. Yes, that's what we are saying. So we are saying the same thing, just that maybe you didn't get to understand what we are saying. If you are still at the point of assessment, you have not started implementing, and if the survivor is saying, "I'm not going," who is going to stand on that court, what they call it now for the lawyers, where you stand to for the court to hear you? Who will stand there? Is the survivor. So if the survivor is not available to say those things, if the survivor did not provide those evidences, who will the state hold as perpetrator? You understand? So it's when it has gotten to the point of implementation, where now you have all the medical reports, evidence is there, you have all the reports you need, and it's already in the hands of the legal practitioners or the police. At that point, even if the survivor said, "I'm not doing again," the state is already involved. You understand?
Thank you for the clarification.
Exactly. So the survivor even doesn't need, in the law court, once after the hearing, especially when it comes to rape, after the hearing, do you know that the survivor might not even need to appear again? They work with the evidence. So it's at that point that we are talking about. At the point of assessment, the survivor say, "I don't need legal case." There's nothing you can do, whether as a state or as a caseworker. There's literally nothing you can do, because the state must work with evidence, and it's the survivor that will produce that evidence. Without it, you cannot work. So, but once you have gotten to implementation stage, then at that point, all the evidence you need is already gotten. So there's nothing that can be done there. Then the second point, that of the friend, we are not saying, of course, they will become your intimate friend. No, your very close friends. No. All we are saying is that your door should be open for them when they come. Of course, for advice, not money. That's why, I think it was Harriet that played that role, Harriet, I can see you, that played that role of a caseworker that said, money is not the problem, money is not the problem. And I mentioned that you don't say that to a survivor. What you tell the survivor is the services that you can link her up or him up to get. At that point, you're already telling the survivor, we don't have money, but we have people that can provide services for you. So it's you, how you handle the survivor determines whether the survivor will keep asking you for money. If anytime the survivor comes, you are providing the survivor with transport money, except if maybe it's a project that the funders have that provision. And if they have the provision, you also need to let the survivor know that this thing is supported by so person, and it terminates at this point, at the case closure.
Yeah, correct.
Are you getting it? So when you have closed the case, it doesn't stop the survivor. Like up to today, there are some of my survivors that still call me on phone. We discuss, not on anything, but just say, Ama, how are you? I'm fine. I hope you are fine. That's all. That's what we mean. Not that you have that relationship of dependency. They want to depend on you for money.
Okay.
No. You have to nip it at the bud. And that's why your first engagement is very important. I really appreciate your contribution because it has helped us to verify more things. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions? Someone dropped a question in the Q&A box. Abuye Grace, she asks, what are the risks involved in GBV work?
Please, somebody should answer. Not be only me, they do the work. Oh.
Okay, let me answer. Can I go on?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay, so the risk, just like we have already said one of it already, where somebody probably now feel that, oh, there's a milk for me to come and draw from, a wealth of milk for me to draw from. So this person keeps coming back and back and back. So we've also had cases where, just like when the facilitator was responding to one question, or she said something about maybe people threatening you. So we've had cases too, whereby maybe some high profile cases, it could become a security threat for your life. Some people have handled cases whereby probably they will have to change their residential address because probably they felt that they are being trailed. Security issue involved. There's a financial risk involved. There's also trauma. There's trauma because I could recall at the initial stage when I started this work, it got to a point I had to leave the country. You know, it was more like I needed to go to a sane environment. I needed to just tell myself that, oh, this is not about you. It's about the people you're trying to hear for. You know, because sometimes when you hear what some people are going through, it could drain you. If you're not strong, if you're not well trained, you will begin to even feel depressed for people's cases. So that's also a risk that is involved in it. So that's why this kind of training is good, so that you're well prepared for what you're going into, knowing that, okay, when some of these things comes, you just have to show empathy and not show sympathy. Don't let it, see it as case scenarios, address it and move on, knowing that hundreds of them will come your way. So if you feel depressed now, who are they going to talk to next? So if you put all of these things in perspective, then it will help you to know that there are risks involved in this work. But if you know the right things to do, then it makes you to also stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ngozi. You know, when you spoke, you mentioned an organization that that are fully into activism and they handle it. They wanted to. Yes.
I want to chip in, though. Please, I want to chip in.
Yes, you will. Just a minute, Asana. Was it who is speaking? Just a minute, please. Yes. So I want to mention that, please don't say, okay, because Dr. Ngozi said there's an organization that is fully into activism that can go and to any length to handle a high-profile case. You now say you do it. Please don't think that way, because that organization, I wish they are here, they would have told you their journey and their story. They have backup somewhere. They have
sure.
Yes. So that is still the same thing we're talking about. Network.
Yes.
Network. There is a network, either visible, the one that you can see, or the one that you are not seeing, that is giving them that back. You understand? So don't just dabble in, don't just go and say, because I'm a GBV, I will do that. Do you understand? You need to be very careful. So that there's what we also do self-care for ourselves. She talked about trauma. we do self-care for ourselves. Even as you are engaging in this work, consider yourself, consider your family, consider your image too. It's very important. Yeah. But while we are going out, all out to save people, let's save ourselves first. Do the right thing. Wisdom is profitable to direct. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that, ma'am. Asana, you have the floor.
Hello, good evening, all. Good evening. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate that. So our facilitator, I like your facilitating. It's really good. It's one of the best training I attend online, this GBV case management. I would like to share some experience based on risks involved in GBV. Here in Kebbi State, my organization, Women's Rights Advancement and Protection Alternative RAPA, we are one of the CSOs that carried out GBV case in Kebbi State. Luckily for me, my boss is the Secretary Technical Working Committee here in Kebbi State. There is the person that spoke about risks involved in GBV. She made mention of financial risk, made mention of safety and emotion.
Someone is speaking, please mute.
I would like to talk about the emotional. There is this case that was brought to my organization. We follow due process because we are working with other referral pathways, and this case is men-to-men homosexual case. So this case happened that we have SAC center here in Kebbi State. We refer the survivor to the SAC center. The doctor there tested him and make sure that okay, there is penetration of that homosexual thing that the case. And luckily for us, we started following the case, taking all the necessary steps with the medical, police report, and every other thing. Only for us, the perpetrator auntie has to be sending my boss messages that is not even supposed to send to him, because the boy was found guilty and we are about to take him to jail based on the evidence on ground. In fact, when we are doing that case, the woman said no, that the woman's child has been creating that kind of suspicion to other children, so that her child is being raped or is being homoed, and there's nothing we can do about it. She has been, this elder sister to the perpetrator has sent my boss like 3 times, different times messages. And if you see these messages, it's a very long one and scary. But thank God we are back, we have backup here in Kebbi State with other referral pathway. So in fact, I want to let us know that there is a lot of risks involved in carrying GBV case. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Hassana, for that wonderful contribution. But let's not be scared. That's why we are a network. That's why we are encouraging everyone to be part of a GBV network like the association. Because when you are part of it, there's that, when we come out together to fight a case, like I said, when you talk of activism now, that's where you see network fits in. The network, we come as a network and fight that same cause, and that we can escalate it even through social media. Social media influencers can pick it up. That is where the power of network comes in. But GBV case management is the one you do at your office level. Activism, it has to go beyond your office. You need network. You need backup from every angle. So thank you very much for that contribution.
Yes, thank you. That was an interesting scenario. Olajumoke, please go ahead. You have the floor. You are muted.
Daniel,
if you're speaking.
I think this should be the last before we have an activity. Then after that, if there's any other question.
Okay.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I want to say a very great thank you to the facilitator and to the association as a whole. I have a question, please. There is a particular case I am handling, and actually, when this case came up, I was just like, how do we go about this? Because it's not a recent case. There is this lady that she said she was abused at 17 years, and she's about, I'm sorry, I've forgotten her age now, but she's over 20. I think she's in her 30s or thereabouts. I can't remember her age right now. Now, she said she was abused by a man at 17, and then I think she got pregnant due to that. Now, this same man, I think the man was a lesson teacher. Now, this same man married her and is abusing the daughter. So she now wants justice. In that kind of a case, how am I going to go about? How am I going to start the case from the scratch? The abuse is not a fresh abuse.
The man that abused her is now her husband.
He's now her husband and now abusing the daughter too sexually.
Okay, you see, that is why for any GBV case or any rape case that is not properly handled, it becomes, how will I put it? We keep having it going around because her case was not handled. That's why now it is now the turn of her daughter to experience the same abuse. Because I don't know, apart from the sexual abuse, maybe the man is also physically abusing her, right? Jumoke? Jumoke, did you drop question and leave?
Yes,
okay.
I'm here.
It's like your network is okay.
No, I'm here.
Is her daughter a minor? Is her daughter a minor?
I have not even started any investigation. Like, I've not even asked her any question because I was just baffled that how would I even start? Now, so with this kind of with this training now, I will be able to initiate the investigation processes and then. But my question is exactly. So how do I implement? This is kind of like what's it called? A test. Because most times I've been referring any GBV cases we have, I've been referring them. I do make referrals because I feel I can't handle. But with this kind of training, I'm very grateful for this training because now I'll be able to handle GBV cases that is being brought. So, but for this kind of a case now, how do I go about it?
Jumoke, you asked the question that I believe as you're talking, you're also answering yourself. Initiate the discussion, then follow the process. I believe you are not alone in the state. Even the people you are making reference to, when you say referral, is it another organization that works on GBV you are making referrals to, or you are making referrals to service providers like hospital or legal aids, or who do you make referrals to?
Most cases we have, we refer them to SAC.
SAC.
We have SAC. Yes, we refer them to SAC. But
beautiful. That is it. In fact, that's what we are pushing for. That all states should have SAC. Once all states have SAC, our job will be made easier. So you bring the woman, document all her case and everything. Then SAC provides virtual, in fact, almost all the services. It's called one stop shop. So if the SAC is functional, bring the woman, document her case, be her GBV case manager, document her case, and then refer it to SAC and follow up. I think that's all you need. All the professionals that are needed is in SAC. Psychosocial, medical, legal, all the 4 basic needs. In fact, in SAC, they have where their shelter, the organization that provides shelter for their survivors. So, so you, in fact, that case is as good as a good case that can be handled without any stress. All you need to do is be her GBV case manager since she came to you. So document, follow the process, the step that we have mentioned, and then you refer to SAC and follow it up. That's all you need.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
As we make progress, I just want to state that for those of you who come from my head later, I've shared the pictures in the group. So go there and go and see yourself. If you're not there, let me snap you now before we finish. All right. So, and then again, for those of you asking for information about paying for the
I'm not there. Oh, I
certificate,
didn't see myself in the picture. Oh.
your camera is not even on.
I am
Seth.
not there. I am not in the picture, please.
Daniel, we have one more
Clement.
activity before we
Okay,
go.
I'm here now.
Yes, I'm
Okay, so just a moment. While I finish the announcement, then I will snap a picture, then we can go for the activity. But let's keep our cameras on. I like to see all the pretty faces. All right, so some participants are asking, they want their certificate. However, we said that the certificate is paid for 3,000, and I've shared the details in the chat so that you can copy it there and see it. Then I've also shared the link to the post test, and please let us also sign the attendance. It's quite important for us to be able to capture all those that are attending the training. I've just shared the attendance again. So let me now snap all those that says they can't find themselves.
Yesterday, I couldn't open that attendance. It wasn't accessible yesterday. So I don't know if I try today, if it's going to open.
Okay, I think you should try today. A whole lot of persons filled the attendance
I
yesterday.
hope you are seeing my face so that I can
Yes,
show you the
Genius,
picture.
I
First
can see
time
your
in 3
face.
days.
All right.
Hope
So
you are seeing my face. Oh. Are you seeing my face now?
yes, Dr. Helen, I see your face.
Yes, because I will follow. I always come late because of my place of work. I posted it yesterday.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Please see my face, so see me here.
Just a moment.
Please, can you see my face?
Yes, Fidelia, I see your face. Let me snap that again.
Are you seeing me? You see me now?
Another
Mr.
person.
Daniel, I hope you are seeing my face too.
Hope you.
So many faces to see. All right, so let's proceed with the activity. Then after the activity, we can then take another snapshot.
Okay.
All right, great. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, Daniel.
All right.
Everyone. Yes. So before we close for the day, like I said, this is like trying to know if we really get what we are saying. We're still going to have 1 or 2 role play. I just want somebody that is confident. You can write it out. That's introduction and engagement. Daniel, what is happening? It's like it's echoing.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Okay, it's fine now.
Yes.
Okay. So I need 2 groups. If you are confident, I know that you are confident enough to role play a caseworker and a survivor. Just that first step, your first engagement with the survivor. That's just what I want to see. How you will communicate effectively all the services and get to the point of the survivor signing the consent form. Okay, before we get that, I said I have a question. Let me ask that question first. While you are preparing, you can write down all the things you want to say so that, we are all here to learn too. You write them out so that you can effectively.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. See my network? I can't hear you.
Is it the same with everybody?
We can hear
No,
clearly.
I can't hear you. Is it my network?
It's your
Yes,
network.
I think it's your network.
We can hear you clearly. I can hear you clearly, ma.
Okay, so while 2 groups are preparing for the role play, my question is, we have step 1 to 6. Okay, step 1, 2, 3, 4. Can it be done in a day? Step 1 to 4, can it be done in a day? If you say
No.
yes, you tell me how. If you say no, please tell me how too. Nobody is talking. Please, I need answers. Step 1 is introduction and engagement. Step 2 is assessment. Step 3 is case action planning. Step 4 is implementation. Step 1 to 4, can it be done in a day? That's my question.
No, ma.
No, ma, it cannot be done in a day. No.
Please, if you are saying no, please explain. If you are saying yes, explain.
No, ma.
Hence, I can say yes with reasons. If, for instance, you have a facility that can actually, you have a facility that can carry out all the necessary assessment as in at one, you have a one go area or one go spot or one point where a survival comes, and then you do the introduction, take necessary information. That same facility does assessment. You have doctors and nurses. You get your results out that same day, depending on what the facility can offer immediately and how many persons that can actually start immediately to assess and then begin to profile plan for this person. Depending on the plan that you've put out to execute, you can actually start your implementation. You may not finish your implementation, but you can start something on your implementation. It is possible based on available resources and that you have available within that particular time.
Okay. Thank you, Samson. Yours is yes. Okay.
Mine is no. This is Habakkuk.
Okay, Habakkuk.
The reason is that, from introduction, you get to know the survivor, and then, of course, taking issues assessment. Then you need to link to, looking for the partner that depend on the findings. So looking at the safety situation, you have to look for where you can be able to keep the survivor there. And this also have processes of time of getting to those partners.
Okay. Habakkuk is like the network has gone off. Or is it from my end?
No, we can't hear him anymore.
Okay.
Hello, network. Okay.
Okay, but we got you. I got your feedback on that. Okay, thank you very much for the answers. Samson says yes, and Habakkuk says no. Okay, will I say there's an answer to it? I will just say it depends. Yes, you can actually run through step 1 to 4 in one day, depending on the case one, depending on how responsive your survivor is. Introduction and engagement is something you can do even within just 15, 20 minutes. Assessment, the survivor has accepted and signed the consent form. Then she starts telling you her story. As she's telling you her story, you are bringing out all her needs. Action case planning, case action planning, two of you from her needs, you begin to draft what she needs, who will provide, when she will need it. You have done step 3. Implementation. If it is a rape case, remember that you are taking her straight to the hospital. That is implementation. You have started. The same day she came to you or she ran to you, isn't it? You have started implementation already. So there's that possibility to run the steps from step 1 to 4 the same day within hours. But it all depends on, like I said, the case, 1, 2, responsiveness of the survivor. And then I think, is it Habakkuk that is talking about that you need to contact the service providers? You don't need the whole day to contact the service providers. No, that is why as a GBV caseworker, all the service providers, their names and numbers should be at your fingertips. As you are talking with the survivor, their names and numbers are already your, that's why they are your partners. So you already know for safety needs is this person, for health needs is this person, for legal needs is this person, for psychosocial need is this person, starting with you. So it's not like it's something that you need to go and start making research. As a GBV person, a GBV actor, you are supposed to know who provides what. So as you draw your action, your case action plan, you begin to implement immediately. So like I said, you can run through the steps from 1 to 4, depending on the case and the responsiveness of the survivor. Number 2 and final question. I'm a survivor and I came bleeding. And I'm profusely bleeding, and you know that this person needs medical attention. Do you need to follow the steps, or what will you do? How will you manage the steps? Step 1 to 4. How will you manage it?
I think immediately.
Safety first.
Safety first. Immediately.
Safety first.
Which of you is speaking? Bedos or
Daniel, who is talking to us?
who is speaking, please? Bedos said.
Hello.
Okay, Habakkuk. All right, please.
Yes. As for me, since it is between life and death, we need to save life first. I have to go quickly to the hospital and then attend to her. Once, as soon as I attended to, then other things follow. Can come back to
Okay.
step 1, 2, and the rest.
His network is not very stable, but I think I heard some things he said. Can we quickly have another person?
Yes, Samson Kalio and then Dr. Helen.
I think the point of bleeding was not specified, but bleeding is
Samson,
bleeding.
I can't hear you. Is it Samson?
Yes. Yes. Can you hear me now?
I can't. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I said, because you mentioned profuse bleeding, but you didn't mention maybe the area, but bleeding is bleeding. So the person can actually be in front of you if he or she is bleeding profusely, and then the person can slump. So first of all, is immediately you need to stop the bleeding there and then. If you're a first responder, you can do that with your first aid kit. If not, you call a medical professional to attend to the person immediately before you start your process. Thank you.
Okay.
Dr. Helen, your hand was up.
What I really want to conclude, just as others have said, safety is very important. You have to save life before every other thing. When somebody comes to meet you and the person is bleeding profusely, what you do first is to take that person to the nearest aid by taking the person to a hospital so that they will admit first aid first before you now start other questioning and carry on the other procedures. In the safety of that survivor first. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the answers. Everyone, we're all correct. We're supposed to attend to the person first, because sometimes they say, the step 1 to 6, there is steps in GBV case management, so we need to follow it. The person is bleeding and is dying, and you are telling the person, I am Dr. Beatrice Onoja, I am a caseworker, these are the steps. How would the person hear you? So it's assumed that your organization has partners. There is hospitals that can handle such cases. So, of course, even as you are taking the survivor to the hospital, you at that point you can just mention your name, so that in case, and ask the person his or her name in case of for the person to make reference to you or for you to make reference to the person. But trying to follow the steps and maybe at that point say you need to sign consent form now. No, that's not the point to do that. Don't start, it's not cast on stones. Don't say this is what we are taught in GBV case management. We must follow the steps. No, that point the person needs immediate attention. There are some persons that will come, she has been raped and she came in, maybe she ran away from home because of the rape. And then as she started talking, she now tell you, I've not even eaten since yesterday. And you can see that she's already, losing strength. And at that point, that's not the point to start saying, I need to explain everything to you for you to sign consent form. No, that's why we need to be prepared. That's part of the financial risk. You need to get her something to eat so that she'll have the strength to tell you the story. If she doesn't have the strength or she collapses in your office at that moment, you too, you have a story to tell again. So save the life first before following the steps. I know why I ask this question is that some persons may feel that, okay, we must follow.
Bleeding, we know that any issue of bleeding is life-threatening. Okay, I've had a case whereby, the person was bleeding and we took the person to the hospital, the injury had to be stitched, 6 stitches, before the bleeding was stopped. And then the person really wanted to pursue the case, to its logical conclusion. And after all the assessment and everything, we went to the police. Police asked us, why didn't you bring the person first to the police station with the bleeding? Let them see the bleeding. That one became another issue. So this issue, with the police is a problem. But as far as I'm concerned, life must be saved. So I don't know how the association is going to, communicate or liaise with the police to know that life is saved first.
Yeah.
Because it's a big issue. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma. So that is why in every state, we have the gender officers in all the police stations. So you as a GBV caseworker or an organization that is into GBV, there is need for you to have a rapport with your GBV, your gender officer in the police headquarters or the police station. So that when you have any of such case, even while taking the person to the hospital, you have already called the police woman or the police gender officer. She or he is already aware. It depends on your rapport and whatever the police is, what you discuss with the police. So she will tell you, okay, do this, do A, do B. There are some states that if you go to as far as your medical report is from a federal hospital, they don't have issue. But there are some states that will tell you, no, bring her to the police station first. So, but like I said, have a relationship with your gender officer in the police station in the state there. So at touch point, always give a call to know the next line of action. And why it is also very important, remember the person is bleeding profusely. You don't even know how long the person has been bleeding. And if anything happens in your hand, police will say you never reported. So that's why you must have a relationship with them. As you are taking the person to the hospital, your call has already reached the police station. So it's very important.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma.
Can we have a couple of
we have a couple of people wanting to ask questions. I wonder if we can attend to them.
Okay, can we have 1 minute, Daniel?
All right.
Each person.
Yes, 4 people now. All right, so we'll take only the 4 people, please. ODJ, then Good Woman Association, then Samson and Sedo, in that order, please. ODJ,
okay,
please.
Okay.
You have the mic.
Good evening, Daniel. Our
Good evening.
facilitator, thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I want to ask, in a situation where a woman is being brutalized or going through gender-based violence from the man. And you know that this woman is suffering so much, but she's not willing to complain. And when you ask her, she will say, no, it's my husband, though, please, I don't want you to scatter my marriage. You know she's been abused. Every time she's going under, and at times she will pass out, neighbors will come and whatever. So what do you do in such states? She's not willing to allow anybody to interfere. She says, she's my husband, I want to save my marriage.
I understand.
In such situation, what do you do?
Okay. Ethically, in GBV case management, we don't have GBV identification. That is identifying a survivor. No, a survivor is supposed to be the one to look for you. What am I saying? If you notice someone that is undergoing such, on a personal level, you can advise and, talk to the person. But professionally, you are not the one to tell. Already she's telling you that she's her husband. See, in this our work, even the people that carry themselves and come, at a point, they will tell you that you want to spoil their marriage. I've handled a case that a woman that her husband used her app and removed all the money in her account, her business money, a huge amount of money. And by the time we stepped into the case, she agreed, accepted that we are going to arrest the man and bring him to police station so that he can return her money and, write an undertaking. The day we went to the police, just about few minutes, the police people have entered their truck. For them to move to go to the house, the lady called me aside and said, Madam, my sister, you mean say they will go arrest my husband?
Imagine.
Do you understand? So talk more of somebody that did not come to you. So you don't put sentiments. So if you notice that kind of person, it is on personal ground that you can advise the person. In GBV case management, there is nothing like identification of a survivor. No, a survivor should come to you because she's the one that needs help. You not offer her help. But if you want to do on an individual level, there is nothing wrong with that. But it is not something that you say, I want to document. You can't document it. It's when the survivor comes to you that you document. So because even those that come can also pull out. Yes, the next person, 1 minute.
Good Woman Association.
Thank you, Mr. Daniel. Yeah, I just want to buttress on what Dr. Beatrice said. On knowing your gender units officers is very important when you know these gender officers in different stations, police station, divisional headquarters. When you have cases like that, you don't need to start rushing. You just call the officers in charge. You need to pay advocacy visit to them, courtesy visit to them, introducing to them, telling them what you do. Not until you have a case before you can pay a visit to them. Let them know. Let them know you exist in the community. Let them know this is the kind of services you give to women and young girls or children. So as soon as you have a case like that, you just call them. They also, when they will swap into action, and also try to have contact of your the gender unit. I don't know, as in command in your state. So you can easily, as you are working there, you are easily sending a report. So in case the police people want to manipulate or can want to give you issue, those commands will also be requesting for the case that should be transferred immediately. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sedo.
Yes.
Sedo, are you here?
Yes, I'm here, sir.
All right,
Good
please.
evening, once again.
Yeah.
Mine is just a concern concerning the police situation when it comes to GBV cases. We've been told, we've been encouraged to have a good relationship, especially with the gender officer at the police stations. But this case of GBV, I think we are trying to address it on the whole. So from my experience, the police are usually not very helpful in these cases, especially when somebody is in an accident, the person is bleeding, and then they are asking for all their, even when you manage to take such a survival to the hospitals, and they're asking you for police reports. Oftentimes, these people end up getting into more danger rather than being saved. So this idea of having a relationship with police before they are able to help you as gender officers, I don't know if there's any way we can help sensitize the police that it is not really about the person, the individual you're dealing with. Then too, they should be made to understand that when they see that somebody is truly in need and needs to be saved, they should stop some of those their protocols that end up endangering people's lives. I don't know if there's a way that under this
Yeah.
Association Against Sexual and Gender-Based Violence, we can help sensitize the police to change their perception on how they treat survivors like that.
Okay, thank you very much, Sedo. The person that spoke before you said something. She talked about advocacy. In your state there, you can carry out advocacy if they don't have a gender, but I believe, because I think there was a recent announcement to have gender units in all the police divisions. So you can carry out an advocacy. It can be the commissioner in your state there. Can go to the commissioner, explain to him. If it is not something very important, why would they announce that there should be gender unit in all the divisions? You can see that somehow things are changing. So since this has been done, immediately key into it, come together. If your state does not have a coalition, you can get 2 or 3 other organizations that are into GBV. You go as a group and go for, what do you call it, advocacy. At that point, you tell them the dangers of them not supporting in the work of GBV. You understand? And then at that point, the commissioner can, even if they don't have a gender unit, he can decide at that point to create a gender unit or give you an officer that you can be working with in regards to GBV. That's why I said, if you have a good working relationship with the gender unit of the police, you don't even need to go to police before taking the person to the hospital. On your way to the hospital, you have already called them and you have told them where you're going to. She's aware or he's aware, depending on who is the gender officer. And then at that point, you even be telling you what to do or what not to do. It will give you a guide. So I know we have some kind of sentiment about the police and, of course, because of the way they handle issues, but that doesn't stop us from doing the right thing. So that you too, you will not fall into, you will not have problem. And like I said, somebody that is bleeding profuse, what if the person dies while he's receiving medical attention? Don't you think that you also have a lot of questions to answer? So, but if you have communicated with your police officer, she'll be there to defend you. Yes, I know this organization, that is their work. And she called me when the survivor walked into her office. So it's for your own protection too. So you can carry out advocacy. Thank you very much. Any other one?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, Samson. I'm sorry, Endurance, we may not be able to take your question now. But Samson, please go ahead. You have the floor.
Any
Okay,
other
thank you.
question
Thank you
that can
very
drop
much.
on the chat box?
A quick one. With respect to protocols, it depends also on the protocol that you build to manage cases. The protocol that we build and follow in situations of life-threatening conditions where you have to ensure that you save the person, and then of course the police issue. You also need to get evidence. Video evidences is very good. You can do a video of the person.
Yeah.
Remember, your stage one has covered consent with respect to the person allowing you to do this, and then, of course, understand confidentiality as well in managing such information. So we can do videos, keep videos. You can keep pictures of this when you're receiving this person, how you saw the person, what you're doing on the person to save the person's life. You keep all this as evidences as well, so that even if they want to ask for it later on, you can present. During the stitching, during the medical attention, have a video, have a picture. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So even while the survivor is receiving those medical, you need to be talking to the survivor. I need to do this so that I'll have the evidence to document because of is a case that needs to be handled. You understand? She will give you consent even while you are on your way to the hospital, while you are in the hospital. Like he said, you need evidence, and it's very key. Without those evidence, you might not have a good case to pursue. All right, thank you very, very much. Daniel, I think we'll continue now. So do we have two groups that will present for us? Just 2 minutes for each, confidently. I think for motivation, the national chair has said any of the person that plays the role of a caseworker and gets it correctly will have an airtime from her.
Great. So who is volunteering to play?
Who is volunteering? Who is going to receive this airtime?
Volunteer. We're still on the step 1 to just role play for step 1. All right, Sedo. You are volunteering to play the caseworker. So who is volunteering to play the other party?
Well, we can even assume, let her just continue. I can even be the survivor. I'll just tell you what the survivor is about, and then our concentration is on the caseworker.
Okay, great.
So, Sedo, you
Yes,
have a
ma'am.
girl that is raped by her father. That scenario 1. Now she is before you. She has come, she has told you her name, and she just told you now that she has been raped by her father. So, action now for just step 1.
Okay. You're welcome.
You can have
I'm
your
glad
camera,
you came
please, so
to
we can
us.
be seeing your face.
Yes,
Sorry.
so that we can see your face.
You are
You can
muted
give her
now.
a name, any name. You can use Beatrice.
Hello? Hello?
Oh.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear
Can
you.
everyone hear me? Hello? Beatrice, you're welcome to our organization. Please have a seat. And I want to tell you that you are at the correct place. You are the correct place. And I want to, all right, let me just start all over again. Beatrice, you're welcome to my place. I'm glad you came to us for something like this. My name is Ledo Bandi. I work for Okaha Women and Children Development Organization, where you are right now. We do a couple of things here, including the reason why you're here. I mean, from the way I see you, that didn't go well. But there are a lot of things we do here. We help people with GBV issues, sexual, gender-based violence. We do domestic violence, and so many other things. So I would like to know why you're here, and I'll expect that everything you'll be saying to me will be completely true. So you can continue. I'm expecting that Beatrice to respond. Hello?
Okay. Nice.
This acting alone is
I
not
think her
funny
2
for
minutes
me
is
at
up,
all.
Daniel.
Yes,
No, this acting
actually.
alone is not funny for me at all. Beatrice didn't say anything.
It's your turn. It's your time. Remember, in step 1, you're in charge of the talking.
Okay, it's
You have
just
been
step
talking.
1.
I was talking to Salis from Real State now.
Shema, also.
Okay.
Is there any other
Okay, just the
person?
step 1.
Yes.
Okay,
your
I
time
actually
is
thought you were
up.
supposed
Let's
to
take another
respond.
person. Your time is
Uh-oh.
up.
Okay,
Daniel,
thank you,
another
thank you,
person.
thank you.
Well
Who
done.
else is volunteering? All right, let me just pick a random volunteer.
Yes.
Sarah Bassi, are you with
Those that
us?
have not spoken for a long time, those that have not even done any role play.
Exactly.
Those that have not spoken, there are some people that are just quiet. I'm seeing one Zoom user.
Exactly. That's in my eyes right now. Zoom user, let's know you. Are you going to volunteer to play a part? Okay, so Harriet is already volunteering. So
Harriet
that we
has
don't
played a
waste.
role before.
Yes, she has. But so that we don't waste precious time.
All right, since no one, okay.
I was supposed to play yesterday, but the network yacked me off.
Okay, so you want to play today?
Okay. Let
All
me
right,
be
thank
the
you.
volunteer now.
Okay,
Not
on
even
your
a
video.
survivor.
No,
you are the
no. We
caseworker.
want caseworker.
Hey.
Hey.
You said what?
It means I've won, no?
Hello?
All right,
Yes,
so
we
Get
can
that. You
hear
said
you.
what?
We want a caseworker. You are not the victim. You are the caseworker in this scenario.
Oh, I thought I'm a survivor. I thought somebody else had already.
No, we
because where I
don't
am
want a
quite
survivor
busy.
now. Just a caseworker.
Okay, where I am is quite busy. I can't really do that.
Okay,
I'm
It's
in the
all right.
market, so I might not be able to concentrate and do that of the case.
All right, so let me just say this before we make progress. The essence of this exercise is to help us familiarize with the step one, which is one of the most basic steps of the management of GBV cases. Now, in this step one, you are talking about introducing your organization to the victim, getting informed consent from them, explaining the things you are going to be doing within services you offer within your organization, and how it's important that you get the consent to proceed with the management of the case from the victim. So this is very important because with this step one, if you have shared all the necessary information about your organization, about you, what you are going to, what your organization is offering, the possibility of referrals, the exceptions that exist in terms of confidentiality, and then the need for the consent form or signing the consent. I think you would have covered a bulk of the work you need to do moving forward. So it's just to help familiarize with the basic step before other things come up. So I think we should have more volunteers. It's a way to practice. You see.
Can I try?
Harriet
Yes.
has been working her. Let her, she has won now.
Okay, so Harriet,
Don't mind
then
Daniel. My
Rosemary.
hand has been paining me.
Sorry. So Rosemary after Harriet, please go ahead.
Okay. Beatrice, you're welcome to Routine Society for Neglected Women of Nigeria. One of our thematic areas is GBV. We take care of gender-based violence in all forms, and you are at the right place. I have heard your story, and it's one of the things that we do here. But before we go on, you have a part to play, a role to play in making sure that you get the services we offer here. You get everything you will be needing, but you have a role to play. You have your own side to play. When we do our own, there are parts we play, there are parts you also play. So when we have heard I have heard your story, you're going to meet a doctor. I will not take you to a doctor. We have our own doctor. Our doctor, the doctors or the hospital our clients go to. And I'm going to take you to one of those places. Maybe if I mention, we have about 3 places, maybe you will have to agree with me that this in one of these places, you're going to go there. And there are forms you're going to sign at each stage. Like now, when I've finished sharing your story, and I'm going to, I will tell you, you're going to meet a doctor, we'll go to hospital to examine the extent of what has happened to you. You're going to, there are forms you need to sign. And what does this form mean, Beatrice? It means that you are giving us authority, you're consenting. That is, you're agreeing to what you have said you're going to do. That's just the essence of this form. This form is not a one-off thing. At each stage, like when we're going to meet a lawyer, you're also going to write, also sign a consent form that you're going to, that yes, this is what you want. Because at the time now, most of what we have seen here, at the time they'll say, oh no, we don't want to continue. But with this consent form you have signed, it will give. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay.
All right.
Can we have people that can comment on the 2 persons that just replay?
Okay.
Well, are they correct?
Okay, let me do
I know
my
that
own
now
then.
we'll have more critics than
because
okay, Machuku. Okay, endurance, right?
Yes.
She wants to comment.
You are muted if you are speaking. Then Rosemary, you wanted to role play too. Are you still here?
Okay.
Let's proceed, please.
So let's just have comments. Comments. That one is easier.
So for comments, actually I wanted to replay, but since I'm on comments now, comments for me, the first actor, let me put it that way, the first actor, well, for me, she didn't really do most of the things she was supposed to do. Like she was supposed to, at that point, talk about the informed consent, the mandatory reporting and other things. And she sounded like it was a do or die affair. Like from the way some of the sentences she made, to me, I feel if I was the survivor, I would be tense. I would be feeling this like, oh, another thing here for me again to do. So I feel the second actor did better for me. Though when she said that we can do this, but but it depends on you. It's she would make it a little bit softer, not like because I feel most times these victims, I'm used to calling them victims, these survivors they are scared, they're skeptical, and they don't want you to make them feel like, oh, they have this very big role to play, that is very big responsibility. After what I suffered, I still have to carry a cross. So I feel when she was trying to tell them that, like that way nice, like trying to get the person to feel comfortable to get the consent and all that, I think that's when she says the lady has a role to play. But you can make it in a way that it sounds a bit comfortable for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rosemary. Maybe we'll have one more comment, then I'll round up on this. Any other person? All right. So I want to say well done to the 2 actors. It's not easy actually. Sometimes what you're already used to, when you're not given a new template, it's always difficult to like try to change to that new template. I understand all that. So, but I believe that as we keep practicing, like I said, with all that we have learned, you can get a paper, write down those things, write out all those things. When the survivor comes, there's nothing wrong with as you're talking to the person. It's just like the ojoro that choir people used to do. If you are still learning how to take praise and worship, you do some writing on your palm or on a small piece of paper. Once in a while, you do as if you are lifting up holy hands, and you quickly look at the sheet to know the next song they are going to pick. So it's still the same thing. Jot down those things. Once in a while, you look into your paper to see what next you should say. Now, we need to also be careful with our words. When Sedo was talking, she said, from the way I see you, you can re-traumatize your survivor with your words. You need to be careful. He said, from the way I see you, the survivor will have to look at herself again and say, oh, so the way I'm looking, everybody that has seen me from my house to this place, I understood that I have been raped. You have to be very, very careful. Choice of words. That's why I said GBV case management is a full package. This one is just the steps. In GBV case management, there is a package that is for how you should speak. How you should speak with survivors, the right words, the right kind of words. So we avoid such words. The second person said, that's Harriet. Harriet said, I have heard your story. We are in step 1. Where did you hear her story? So if you tell her you have heard her story, what she will believe is that it's like her story has blown all over the place. Radio has carried it. If not, how comes I'm meeting you for the first time and you have heard my story? She only told you, I have been raped and I'm here for help. So you can say, I've heard what you said is different from I've heard your story. So when you say
Okay,
I've heard your story,
I took it from the standpoint where you said that we should take you. I've heard her story already from,
No, it's step 1. We are in step 1. Step 1, you have not heard her story. She just came in and she's telling you that she has been raped. So you don't need to say that. And then again, both of you were taking decisions on her behalf. You are telling her that you take her to she will go to the hospital, she will do this, she will do that. You can tell her that for such case, there will be need for the person to go to the hospital, and there will be need. You understand? There will be need. It's different from you will go. You will go is like you have already mapped out what she needs and how she will get it. There is need for such person that passes through this kind of thing to go to hospital. We partner with some of our hospitals, like Hospital A, Hospital B. When we have settled, if you want to proceed with us, then we'll know which of the hospital that we can take you to. Then you tell them every other story. You also talk about police. There is a point, if you just talk about police at that point, you say you will go to the police, the person at that point can back out immediately because you don't know what is in her mind. You can just tell her we provide legal services too. If you want to report your case to the police, we have the police people that we are working with. At that point, you are giving options. It's options you are giving. You are not being definite. You are not giving a direct map on how she's going to navigate and get the services she needs. No. You are telling her the services you offer. So she's the one to decide now whether she wants those services or not. Then after you have told her everything, you wrap it up with, it will need you. Somebody mentioned mandatory reporting. It's very, very key. Like I said, write those things out. As you are looking at your piece of paper, it reminds you of the next thing to say. Remember, step 1, you are in charge. Like I said, though, she was expecting me to say something. I don't need to say something in step 1. The only thing I need to communicate to you is I have been raped by my father and I need help. So it's for me now to be talking as the caseworker. As you are talking, maybe you just want to know if she's listening. You will now ask her, Beatrice, you understand what I'm saying? You can reiterate. If there's anything I said that you didn't understand, please, you can ask questions. It's at that point you can invite her. But for step 1, you are in charge of doing all the talking. So well done, everybody. I think nobody, Daniel, that airtime, nobody seemed to be able to win that airtime. But both of you tried. So, but on our own personal levels, let's go back and see how we all practice on our own. It's not it's not something that you can do in one day. as you keep doing it, you see yourself being improving on it. So before I go and hand over finally to Daniel, I would like to say that I have been saying it from time to time, and I want to reiterate it, that this session does not in any way constitute a comprehensive training on GBV case management, because GBV case management is a full and effective training and typically requires a minimum of 5 days of hands-on in-depth engagement with a lot of activities. So the purpose of this session is just to acquaint us as GBV caseworker with the UN-approved structure. That is the 6 steps that we talked about. That's just what we are here, that we have done within these 3 days. Even these 3 days, the 6 hours we did, you can see it was not enough. Daniel can tell you that I have to skip a lot of slides for us to be able to finish the 6 steps. So it's just like a sandwiched program just for us to understand those 6 steps. So I want to encourage you to actively seek other opportunities to participate, maybe in full-time or full-scale trainings, in order to deepen your knowledge and skills in the area of GBV case management. Organizations that are here that have donors that are supporting them, you can talk to them and see how you can get support to them to organize a comprehensive GBV case management training for your staff and your organization, so that you have a robust and effective service delivery structure. Is very important. And also, organizations that are coalitions can come together and say, okay, we are going to have this GBV case management training full package. You can come together and agree and, you know, have that sessions. Because at the core of our mission, AACSGBV, is just for us to make that commitment to ensure that GBV caseworkers deliver professional survivor-centered services that will contribute in reducing. All our targets is to reduce GBV in our society, if not eliminate it altogether. So I want to sincerely thank you all for participating in this session. I look forward to connecting with many of you in person. Maybe when you are ready, you want to, you know, have a robust one. I believe that one day we will see, and then we continue the work together to fight against GBV in our state, in our country, and kick them out, because it's a menace. And like someone said, it's already becoming epidemic. But I know that as we all work together, we'll continue to do what we can to make sure that we bring it to a barest minimum. Thank you once again for standing by.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you so much. Thank you for a comprehensive and robust training.
All right, wonderful. So here we are at the end of this 3 days training. For those that would like to snap again, I think we're about 15 in the group now. So let's just put on our cameras again so I can take the final pictures of the day. I'm still waiting for others to put on their cameras so that people will not cut off my neck today. Today is the last day. I cannot promise another day. Please. All right, I'm waiting for everyone to turn on their camera. Yes, Ikechukwu, I can see you. Speaking. I'm trying to find who is speaking. Can you speak again?
Can you see me, sir?
How much? No, it's too much.
It's Sedo that is speaking.
Where do I
Yes, I can see you, Sedo.
Where do I want you measure?
All right, let me just take the first snapshot. I think all of us have our cameras on now.
This is Asana. Can you see me, Mr. Daniel?
Sorry, have you taken my?
No, I've not taken any pictures yet. I'm just waiting for Ikechukwu. I'm not taking your picture. You have gone off camera.
Daniel, I'm still waiting. This is Asana, Mr. Daniel.
Yes, Asana.
All right. See me now?
Yes.
Snap me, please.
Daniel, hope you can see me
Daniel?
too, please.
Hello.
Have you taken it, Daniel?
I'm not done yet. I've taken some, but I'm not done yet.
Daniel, sorry.
It's fine.
Hello, Danny. I hope you will capture me this time.
Just a moment. Let me
Wow.
just snap it again. I don't
I
want to
think
miss
Daniel
anyone.
deserves a promotion. Daniel, you should get a promotion for this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are we taking?
I'm still taking it. Please just a little bit of patience.
Okay.
A little bit of patience.
All right.
Okay, now I'm on the second page, I think. All right.
I'm logging now.
Nigeria has the most beautiful people. My goodness, look at them.
I agree with you.
Beautiful.
Thank you, ma'am.
Lovely.
Not yet, not
Thank
yet,
you,
not
ma'am.
yet. All right, so I think that I have the pictures now. So please, I'm just going to quickly post it in the group. So if you can't see yourself, so that we can rectify
Can
that
you find me now?
instantly.
Can you find me now? Can you find me now?
Yeah, so I am posting what I've snapped now to the group so that if you can't see yourself there, we can just snap again. I don't want anyone coming for me.
Please try it now.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yes. So for everyone who is interested, the facilitator is very much available. In the emails that you were sent, her details is there. You can always reach out to her one-on-one, and then she'll be able to provide more insights and more training for those who are interested in a more in-depth training. So I am sharing to the group now. So please check if you can see yourself, and if you cannot see yourself, so that we can rectify that. Yes, who is speaking? SA girl, are you saying something?
No, I'm not saying something. Sorry.
Okay.
Daniel, I think we should end this meeting.
Okay, Dr. Beatrice.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
I think the coordinator of the mobilizing team, I think she's here, Barrister Ihetri Olarewaju.
Okay.
I think if the national chair is not here, she can also help to give us a closing remark.
Okay,
if she's
great.
here, so that we
Yes,
can
please
end
go
this.
ahead. For those interested in joining the WhatsApp, once you pay for the certificates, you'll be added to the WhatsApp group. All right, Barrister Hechi, are you here with us? Please give us a closing remark. I'm muting everyone who is not speaking so that we can wrap this up.
Oh, she's.
Oh, sorry, I think I muted you by mistake. Barrister Hechi, are you here? All right, so I can't find her here.
If she's not here, if she's not here, anyone from the mobilizers help us with the closing remarks from the team. Daniel, please go ahead. so that we don't keep people. Do the closing
All
remark
right.
and let's go.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here with us for the past 3 days. It's been an insightful session, and we appreciate everyone's presence. And we also thank the Association Against Child and Gender-Based Violence for putting together this wonderful and amazing training to sensitize and to inform us about best practices in dealing with gender-based violence case management. We thank everyone for joining. And on this note, we'll say thank you and bye-bye. Until next time, bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye,
Thank you so much.
everyone.
Thank you, Daniel. You're wonderful.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Noja, thank you.